BlizzCon 2023 was packed full of World of Warcraft news. Not only did we get several huge announcements, but more importantly, I think we got a shift in tone that looks promising for the future of the entire Warcraft franchise. The two big announcements for Classic were Cataclysm Classic and a new seasonal Classic mode called Season of Discovery. Cataclysm makes sense as the next logical step as Classic progresses through all the old expansions. To me though, the way I always thought of Classic WoW was only the vanilla through Wrath content that came out before the world revamping Cataclysm, but looking back at the original release date, Cataclysm's about to become a teenager, so I think it officially fits into the category of Classic.
Hey, I've seen this one. This is a classic.
Anyway, Cataclysm looks great and all, and that trailer was awesome, but in my opinion, that announcement was dwarfed by the other announcement. First, let's get some context. In the weeks leading up to BlizzCon, the WoW Classic community and especially content creators seemed to think that Classic Plus was sure to be announced. If you're not familiar with the concept of Classic Plus, it's basically the idea that Blizzard would take the vanilla WoW game and instead of progressing it into the expansions that came out in the past, they would create new content patches to add to the world of Azeroth without raising the level cap. The patch content would expand on the existing story, zones, and world of vanilla World of Warcraft, and also include some balancing changes to some classes that aren't viable in the roles they were meant to fill.
I need more mana. Not enough mana. I need more mana.
So, with that expectation in mind, what is this Season of Discovery? Well, for starters, it's a season, which implies it will come to an end at some point, just like they did with Season of Mastery, but unlike Season of Mastery, this season shakes things up a lot, in a kind of, sorta, Classic Plus-ish kind of way. Season of Discovery adds a ton of new content to the Classic Vanilla experience in a very experimental way.
Have you ever wondered what it might be like to be a tanking warlock? Or take on the role of a mage healer? In Season of Discovery, you can.
My initial reaction to this announcement was confusion. But with further explanation, I'm now completely hyped, and I am excited to see how this will play out. The way the class changes will happen is by discovering new abilities in the form of runes by interacting with the world. Some will be earned through quests, others might be unlocked by exploring a zone and finding a hidden chest, or clicking a book on a bookshelf, stuff like that, I think. I freaking love this idea, though. And in the spirit of Discovery, there will also be no beta testing or public test realms for Season of Discovery. For the first few days at least, everyone will be searching for their class's runes with no guides, no add-ons, nothing to hold your hand and lead you right to it. This kind of experimental gameplay is exactly what I like to see coming out of the Classic team, and hopefully everything they learned from this season will lead to a more permanent, less seasonal Classic Plus version of the game. But wait, there's more. Shaking up the meta isn't the only experiment they're trying in Season of Discovery. They will also introduce reimagined versions of certain classic dungeons at different levels, turned into full-on 10-man raiding content that's not part of the level 60 endgame experience. But how are they going to have people actually engage with these lower-level raids? Well, they thought of that too. During Season of Discovery, the initial level cap will be level 25, and the initial 10-man raid will be a reimagined Black Fathom Deeps. As the season progresses, the level cap will be raised periodically and will coincide with another dungeon being reimagined as a raid. Apparently, the level cap progression idea came from all the way back in the initial Classic WoW beta, where they slowly incrementally raised the level cap to test the world at different levels. They noticed the community was creating their own meta and endgame content at each of these lower level caps, and that inspired the devs to think differently about what could be added to Classic WoW. Oh, and another big feature that's planned is that they are turning Ashenvale into a full-on PvPvE zone, complete with level 25 PvP mounts and faction boss events. The old stubborn Blizzard seems to be completely gone, and we sure have come a long way from this.
And by the way, you don't want to do that either. You think you do, but you don't.
Between Season of Discovery and the hardcore Classic realms, the Classic development team is showing us that they're listening and more than willing to give things a try. This may not be the Classic Plus the community hoped for, but I think this feels like the first step in that direction. Right now, I'm cautiously optimistic. I don't think I would want the role-changing abilities from Season of Discovery to carry over into an actual Classic Plus, like the Mage Healer and the Rogue Tank. But some of the runes that are designed to make Boomkins and Ret Pallies viable at endgame, for example, that would be great as built-in class changes, without the rune system, of course. That's all a discussion for another time, though. Season of Discovery isn't even out yet, but it will be soon on November 30th, and I know I'm not alone in saying that I'm planning on spending a degenerate number of hours in Classic WoW over the next few months at least. What do you think about Season of Discovery? Is this a test run for what will later become proper Classic Plus servers in the future, or just a wacky season of fun? Time will tell, but for the first time in years, I'm genuinely excited about World of Warcraft, and that just feels great. That's all for this video. Subscribe for more Season of Discovery content, and until next time, I'll see ya.